Because right now it just looks weird. Because it's kind of dead for all these frames, and it's like gently resting right there. So I would give it maybe a little bit movement, but I would for sure translate in that wrist a little bit more. Um, but he's got great action. Um, Again, watch the nose arc. Here, the thing that's strange to me is this head movement. I see what you're doing. It's kind of like, well, I'm kind of a bad lab partner, and and I was looking at it trying to figure out what was bothering me about it. And I think what's happening is there's too much neck rotation. Now for this you need neck rotation because you're like, well, and when you look at this, there's not a whole lot of, it's actually your neck that's doing most of the rotation when you make this movement. But if you look at my shoulders, they're also kind of coming along for the ride. And I think that's what she's missing here is, because right now it just looks like her head is just scaling. It looks like it's kind of going like this or something. Her head is just giant. And what's happening is because I think her shoulders are locked and it looks like you're rotating the neck. So I think if you maybe toned back on the rotation of the neck just a little bit and gave it a little bit of, just a little shy bit of shoulders, not so it looks like she's doing this, but still more neck rotation, but just a little residual in the shoulders to show that there's movement there. Because I think that's what it's missing right now. Because it looks like her shoulders are kind of locked. Well, you have it in there a little bit. Right there, it bothers me. Because see, the shoulders, you have it in there already. You've got shoulders movement in there already. But right here, right there, the shoulders stop and her neck continues to go way forward. And there's just something about that I would just keep going with those shoulders because you can see they start to come back. The shoulders are leading. Maybe that's the problem. Let's see. Well, okay. It looks like you're leading with your shoulders. You're kind of going well, and then the shoulders are coming back. You're doing a very and I do that all the time too. I do way over animate things where everything has to lead everything else. But I think this is a case where lead with the neck. The shoulders are following along for the because the neck is driving this action. So when I go this way, the neck is going first, and then the shoulders are going to pull, and then I'm going to go this way, and then the shoulders are going to pull back. So I think what's looking weird about this is it looks like the shoulders are driving the neck. Um, uh, and then the only note I had about this section was it would almost seem to me like the scene would have more of a punch if when she says charisma, she really makes herself pretty to him. Like she comes and says charisma and like really bats her eyes or something, to like show him that hey, it's worth you doing all the work and me doing nothing because I look pretty, look at me. You know. So I would because right now she kind of comes and goes charisma and just blinks and she's kind of sarcastic about it. But if I in order to really punch it up, I think she should be like charisma, and just like really blink and try to be purposely pretty at that point. Because there's something about the scene that I feel doesn't have as great as it is, as great as the emotions of everything is, and the you've really done a great job of portraying attitude in this shot. The scene feels kind of a little flat to me. Like there's no resolve, and I think that could be the thing that gives it a little something else. Just coming charisma. That's the resolve of the bit. You know. The other thing I don't know about this part is he kind of comes up like he's plugging. It almost looks like he's holding his ears like she's being too loud, and I think that he's getting startled by her jumping in his face, and maybe he'd kind of be like this a little bit, like whoa, like he's guarding his space. He's like, whoa, you're in my personal space, because right now he's like, ow, you're too loud. That's the only feeling that I know that he's not saying, "Ow, you're too loud," but that's what it looks like he's doing. And I think that if he was more like, "Whoa, hey lady, get out of my personal space," just a little like, "Whoa, you startled me. I'm guarding myself. I'm not used to pretty girls being close to me." You know, um, that would kind of make a little bit more sense to me, at least. Um, I think that's it. It's 10 minutes later. Yeah, let me say that the shot looks fantastic, and I looked at it, and I wasn't going to do this because I couldn't find anything wrong with it. And it was when I started frame by framing it, it was like I was purposely trying to nitpick it. But I hope that you think that I'm not an asshole for doing that. I was just because right now I would say turn it in, it looks done. You know, you don't have to touch it again, you know, in your life. But maybe these are things that you know, that someone else sees that maybe you could think about when you do your next shot or something like that, you know? So I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just, you know, I just wanted to point out a few things that maybe could be done to make, but everything else looks so good. Like you have so much other, like all the finger stuff is great, and the secondary stuff with the glasses and the paper and the pencil, and I could see that you did a lot of work putting all that stuff in there, and it looks really, really fantastic. And I congratulate you on a absolutely phenomenal piece, especially two character. It's so hard. Like I'm so afraid of doing a two character shot because it's double the work, you know. But you did a fantastic job, and I hope that some of these notes made sense, or if you saw something that you didn't see, or maybe you saw that already and you didn't hit it, I would say it's done, but I just figured I'd throw this out there and congratulate you for doing fantastic work. So again, I bow to you. Excellent work, and take care of yourself.